Here's a story, three mega ladies, all of them in a world of their own. There is Patty, the enforcer, she would remove her own. There is Linda, the creative genius, she creates the very best host. Even though they may be of a flower, they love her the most. There is Peggy, the entertainer. She will have you on a boat or taking walks. She posts in paragraphs instead of sentence, and she loves to talk. The mega girl, that's why we call the mega girl.
Okay, so here we are. I'm going to do my Larry Lou Jack, Wolfman Jack, Bob Surratt. Okay, here we are with Patty Lowe. And Patty, I'm sorry, I'm always going to call you Patty Lowe because that's what you are to me. And we got Peggy Martino. Sadly, Linda had some technical difficulties, so she's not on the screen. But the purpose of this video is to talk about how we're going to interview mega members and the process of interviewing. So let's kind of do a dry run with Patty and Peggy. You girls ready for some tough questions?
We're ready. I'm ready.
Okay. So what we'll do is I'm going to ask the question, and then I'm going to go to you, Peggy, and I'm going to go to you, Patty. Second question, we'll reverse it. Patty will answer, and then you'll answer, okay? The purpose of this episode is a kickoff episode, so that as we have members that agree to be interviewed, right, they'll have an idea what we're going to do, right? So generally, the episode will open up with a theme picture of our mega site with the interviewee's name on it. The actual person doing the interviewing, we don't know. Could be Linda, could be Peggy, could be Patty, could be me, right? We'll kind of switch it up. But these are the kind of questions we're going to ask. So let's start with Peggy. When did your family move into the neighborhood?
Well, he said Patty, right?
Peggy.
Patty. Peggy.
Oh, Patty.
Peggy.
Me. Okay.
Yeah.
When did my family move to the area?
Yeah.
I was little. That's all I remember. I want to say I was probably about 7 or 8. Thereabouts. We lived there 35 years, but I don't have a lot of recollection, to be honest with you. Pink French doors, and I was told to go take a nap while the papers were being signed. That's it.
Now, do you remember where your family came from? Was it another
Oh.
neighborhood?
Yes, they lived on Ohio Street. When my parents were first married in true Italian style, you had the 3 flat, and you had grandparents on one floor, uncle and aunt on another, and then they were there as well. So on Ohio Street, close to where I live right now, and did the whole newlywed status there, and then moved into good old Montclair.
Now, do you remember the year you moved into Montclair?
I don't. You know what? I've got a thing in my drawer. Hold on. Of the
Lovely
house.
Nail polish. Look,
I want to say,
Patty.
let's say for right now, while Patty's answering, I'll look. But I'm going to, well, let's say about 55 years ago. So whatever that is, Mr. Numbers Man.
Okay, I will throw that on the screen.
And I'm looking.
Patty, the same for you. When did your family move into the neighborhood?
They moved to Montclair probably around 1928, way before I was born. My mother was first generation born Sicilian.
Okay.
They originally lived, Brandon, Oakley, that neighborhood on Huron, actually. Then moved to New England, probably right around 1928. That would have been when my mother started St. William's School.
Oh, wow.
And she also went to Steinmetz.
Oh, wow.
Met my dad later in the 40s. They moved then to our childhood home, extended family, grandparents, cousins, aunt, uncle living upstairs, my parents downstairs. And then that part of the family moved to California before I was born, when my brother was probably about 4, so 1959.
Oh,
I
okay.
stayed in the neighborhood to early 90s.
Okay. Now,
Wally?
Peggy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I found this. Can you see it?
Yeah.
And it has all the details of the house, including
Yeah.
what they paid, all that, but there's no date on here.
Okay.
Nothing.
Oh,
But
Peggy.
it has St. William's is the closest church.
What's your street again? What were your cross streets? You don't have to give the
Newcastle and Medill.
Okay.
And we were on the corner.
Okay. Patty, you were off of Altgale and Sayre, right?
Yeah, between Wrightwood and Altgeld, a few doors down from the church.
Right. Right. Okay. So Peggy, back to you.
Yes.
What school did you go to?
Sayre School, all 8 years, and Steinmetz High School, all 4 years. And
Nice.
fond memories of both.
Okay. Patty and you?
I think I went to St. William's with you, Walter, and all 8 years. Well, I was there all 8 years. Then Mother Guerin, which is sadly going to be demoed. They're starting to tear down of the properties there.
I know.
June 28th.
Oh, wow.
Now, Patty, who was your coolest classmate?
Aside from Wally Viola?
Well, there you
Fishing.
go. Okay, so Peggy, don't get mad when I ask this question because I already know Patty's because she graduated the same year. What year did you graduate from Sayre School?
Oh, me? You're asking 1970.
Oh, okay.
I would be your cuter older sister.
Yes, you would.
Right.
Patty, when did Ron graduate grade school?
68.
Oh, okay. So he is older than Peggy. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
How many of your best friends do you still have from the neighborhood?
Me?
Mhm.
Me, Peggy?
Yeah, you, Peggy.
Okay. Sorry, folks, if you're listening, there's just been some audio issues. So I am still very good friends with Gina and Sue, and we go back to grammar school. I consider them 2 of my best friends, and grateful for that. We've been through a lot together in life, but yeah. So from the beginning.
So you'd say 2, at least 2 of them.
2. I mean, I have acquaintances with many of the people, especially in grammar school. I've had reunions in past years, etc. But in terms of a good friend or someone that I know I could call at, not 2 a.m, but whatever, people that know me, Gina and Sue. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Patty?
Um,
Other than
several.
me, John Morey, Alex, Frank, Joe, and
Well, yeah, besides you guys, of course.
yeah.
My gal pals, Andrea, Terry, Michelle, Lene, who actually went to Locke School, which I thought she was younger than me. I thought she went to St. William's because she was always hanging around the school like the rest of us. And I didn't learn until we became adults that she was actually a Locke School kid, not a St. William's kid.
Oh my God. Remember when we used to call them publics and Catholics?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Sorry, Peg. You were a public. You were a public. We may have
I've been called
friends with
worse.
you. I know. Okay, so Peggy, for you, if you could reconnect, now don't you blush on me. If you could reconnect with someone or several people, who would they be?
Who would it be? From
Why do
grammar
I
school,
feel
you
like
mean?
Bob Eubanks. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, you're talking about grammar school or high school, people I already know, right?
Yeah, I'd say grammar school and high school either.
Well, again, because I hosted those two reunions 10 and 11 years ago, I did reconnect with many of these people.
Oh, okay.
Interestingly enough, though, one of my 8th grade crushes, when we all we had to sing a solo. So I thought I was being very creative. And since his nickname was Romeo, I chose the love theme from Romeo and Juliet as my secret way of letting him know that I liked him. Well, 40 years later, he says, I didn't have a clue what, all of this. I've got a diary full of this guy, and he is happily married now in Florida. But point being, no, I'm friends with everybody, and I like that. And I'm hoping that through this page, there is a reconnect taking place, and that hopefully soon and very soon. But otherwise, no, things are as they should be. He's happy, and so am I. So
Nice. Patty, how about you?
Oh boy, reconnect. I don't know. I mean,
You kind of connect with everybody anyway.
I know, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we do pretty well with our class that we do together. There's a nice showing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of who I haven't seen in a long time. I go to high school and I think about the girls. We were alphabetical in high school, so there's a lot of the L's that I'd like to, track down. Last name beginning with an L.
Yeah.
Just because you're in homeroom with them for 4 years, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's how we did it, right?
Yeah.
How were you? You were never in my homeroom then, because I was a V.
No, I'm talking about high school. High school, we were by alphabetic. No, we were, out of the years
Yeah,
that we were
same.
at St. William, just Sister Benedict, your favorite teacher. That's the only
Yes.
homeroom we
Yes.
were in together.
I'll never forget. And George Parker, don't be mad for me saying this, but she kicked him hard. Poor George got beat from chalkboard to chalkboard. Okay. Peggy, when did you move out of the neighborhood?
we were there 35 years. My parents, let's see, I had already moved to St. Louis. I was working for TWA, so that would have been in the 80s, early 80s, and my parents went to the suburbs. So let's say before 1985, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
It was
How about
hard.
you,
It was
Pat?
sad to leave.
Oh, yeah, for sure. How about you, Patty?
My childhood home was sold in the mid 80s. My parents, usually, kids move out. My parents moved out. So I had to get my own place. They moved to,
right.
yeah, they retired and moved to California.
Oh, nice.
Really? I never knew that, Patty.
When are we going to go visit them?
Oh, well, yeah,
Oh,
well,
well, yeah.
not now.
Yeah.
Say a prayer. So I moved out, and but I stayed with a short stint at Belmont Central. I stayed in the neighborhood to the early 90s. In fact, Wally, I lived on your block. The big apartment building on the east side next to the alley, right off of Grand.
Yeah, yeah.
I lived there for a while.
Did you
We were
really?
neighbors, but you were out of the neighborhood already. So it was
Oh,
neighbors
yeah.
with your family.
I was gone by 85. I
Yeah.
mean, the family house stayed, but I was gone. Yeah. Okay, so Peggy, let's go to you. What were your favorite memories
My favorite memories.
growing up in the neighborhood?
I think I would say seriously involving my family, my parents and my grandparents. In my neighborhood, we didn't have a lot of girls when I was little, so there really wasn't anybody to play with. I mean that. So I think in terms of grammar school, and as I said, family type things, but am I allowed to say one more thing?
Yeah.
I thought about this and in connecting on the page, initially in the beginning, of course, it was exciting to see people, the names from the past, places from the past, you know, that we had all been. But for me, what I've enjoyed about the page is the page has served as a mirror for my life. So whereas what started there decades ago, maybe in a small degree, maybe not necessarily at Sayer Park or the things that we would think, it has just showcased the beauty of it's been good to see my life and to be grateful for it in a new way and relive it. And not only that, with other people as well. So my memories are more in remembering and being grateful for the start I had and how it has not served me, but it's been good. So does that make sense? It's
does.
never a short answer, you know.
Yeah. Oh, wait,
But-
Peg. Wait, Peg, I almost forgot this because there's going to be people who are going to want to remember family members. So can you list the names of your brothers?
Sure.
Do you have a sister?
No.
Okay.
No.
So list the name of your brothers.
Okay. I'm the oldest, and then there's Jimmy, Joey, and Ricky. And we're all basically about a year and a half or so apart. The doctor used to tell my mother, we'll see you next year. Jimmy and I are Irish twins, but yeah, so yeah, 4 of us, and a whole lot of cats along the way.
All right.
So
All right. So Patty, same to you. What are your fondest memories? And don't forget to mention your brother.
Right, well, my fondest memories start with my brother. There's 7 years between us, okay? So
Right.
my brother was in a band. My brother is still in a band.
really
67 years old. He's a bass
I
player.
remember it. I
good for
remember it.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were little, or when we were young, he played rhythm guitar, and my parents were very gracious to allow band practice in our basement. So
Wow.
that was fun, so much fun. And Ronnie Gaggs used to let me play his drums because he was the drummer in the original band.
Ronnie Gagliano was the drummer?
Yes,
I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, he was the drummer. The first band I remember, Ronnie Gaggs, drummer, Tommy Spiracino, Louis Farinella, vocals.
No way.
Yeah, Joey
Tommy
Albergo.
Spiracino sang. I didn't know that.
Yes. Joey
Okay.
Albergo was keyboards. I kind of mix up some of the bands because we had a couple bands practicing it. So that was fun. So, not only did I have my own older brother, I had a lot of older brothers. You know what I mean?
Nice.
That's what was beautiful about our neighborhood. Like the older guys looked out for the younger kids, the sisters, and we had this, I think you all got the memo, right? You don't date each other's siblings. You don't date
Oh, yeah.
older than your siblings. Well, in Wally's case, that might be tough because you have a lot of siblings older than you, but you know what I mean? So there's like this code.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, but I mean, I just had a great block. We had boys and girls. And I typically stayed north of the tracks. That's where most of my friends lived when I was allowed off the block as I aged, But yeah, just good people and, good values and birthday parties in the backyard, so
Right.
it was a simpler time.
It really was. It really was. We didn't need much, did we?
I'm
We
sorry.
were never keeping up with the Joneses. It's like whatever a father did to support his family in those days, that's what he did, I
Right.
just don't ever remember us competing in a financial way. Do you guys?
I didn't hear. I can't.
I said, I don't remember ever competing in kind of a financial way, like not trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
All right, so I only have 8 minutes left, so we got to
Okay.
make this work. So if you see that piece of paper right there, that actually says the Linda Show, right? Because Linda was going to be the one to kick off the interviews. So the
Right.
idea is going to be this. We're doing this, and I'm going to post it on the mega site. so everyone can see what we're talking about, and they can get used to the fact that this is how it'll be conducted, right? So whether it's Peggy, me, Linda, Patty interviewing them, those are the kind of questions we're going to ask. Now, if any of uh, the interviewees don't want live video like we're doing right now, they can always forward us a photo and we can put a photo up there. You know, just no photos of them in their teenage years because that's just not cool. So it's got to be a recent photo, right? Um, so it's going to be just, hey, what do you know? Now, why are we doing this? The site, to be quite honest, uh, you eventually run out of memories, right? And that's what we talked about. So what we're trying to do is we're saying if everybody can get interviewed, they can spark something new, right? So just like talking to you guys or you gals, sorry, I didn't know certain things, right? So I learned something new, right? The other thing is I'm getting quite a bit, you guys probably are too. People are saying, what about so and so? What about so and so? Whose families? People want a list of members, which we can't give them because our site doesn't do that. So this is kind of a shortcut to do that. And so the synergy would be that if there's enough people interviewing and talking about things, then that may spur something. It could spur a reunion. Who knows? Could spur a relationship. Um, it could friends could come back. Whatever comes out of it. I'm just thinking we got the technology. Why not use it? The printed word tends to stale out. It really does. I mean, you can only post so many pictures, make so many comments, do only so many thumbs up, thumbs down, faces, and all that stuff. So my thought was this, Patty, maybe we get you to interview the first person, Peggy interview the second person, Linda interview the third person. You know, I'll pick up the tail of it. So the idea is just pick somebody, yeah, instant message them and say, look, when are
Oh,
you, yeah, when are you available? Uh, I think by them seeing this video, they get an idea what the questions are going to be. If somebody doesn't feel comfortable with a question, right, they just don't have to answer it. You know, just I'd rather not answer that, you know. So, but if everybody understands that the main idea of this is to get information, people want to know where you've been, what you've done, where you're at. Now, I have had some people say, you know, you got to be careful not giving too much personal information because there's hackers out there. They may pick up on what you're talking about. The way I look at it is then don't talk about anything that you don't feel comfortable about. If it's too limited, you probably don't want to be interviewed, you know, because the spirit of this is to talk, right? So, with that said, and I kind of monopolize this, let me go to Patty and then Peggy, I'm going to go to you. Give some final thoughts that you think are necessary because we're going to post this on the mega site of a message you want to send to someone about why we're doing this. So, Patty, it's all yours.
Well, we like to get to know our members on a little more personal basis. And, since we are a multi-generational site from, the north and south side of the tracks, east and west of Harlem, over by the Reese Park people, Austin people, everybody's got a different story and a different experience. So, what Wally and I, experienced on the north side of the tracks is different than John Morey on the Elmwood Park side.
Yeah, the
Same
poor
age,
guy, the
same.
poor guy, Patty. He had to live in Elmwood Park.
Him and Alex both. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah. So I mean, bring something new to the table. Bring up a school dance or a prom or a song that triggers something. Cruising Harlem to get us engaged. Next.
That would be you, Peggy.
when do we get to ask you questions? Folks, we've got 7,000 people on this page. Somebody needs to hear what you might be afraid to say. Take a risk, put a post out there. Your story is important. And we have each received messages about a picture that might have sparked a personal memory or something that was shared, or if you read between the lines on some of these, you are connecting, you're making a connection, and that's the purpose of this. So let's get some more people on the page. Share what's important to you or what touches you. You don't have to get crazy personal, but trust me when I tell you, even if by fact of the numbers alone, you're gonna touch somebody with what you're sharing. So let's get out there and do it. This is our page together. And I'm happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, real quick, because we got like a minute 40 left. So Peggy, you're going to start putting together some events, right? So whether it's cruises, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, because I still want to do what I'm planning. I don't know if this is recorded. I'm hoping to do a nice little sign music. I've got a whole thing about the boat, but we can't wait for the mega reunion. That may not happen till next year. So we're trying to get together now. This is summer. This is our time. We've all been locked up for a year and a half. Let's get out. Come downtown. Let's go. We're going to plan. I'm doing something downtown. I'm going to try to get us together at the Beach Boys. We're going to try to do something around St. Williams. Folks, come out of your comfort zone. Let's meet. And it's just another element. It's another dimension, and it'll be fun. But, you know, we can only do so much of this. So first one, July 10th coming up, Navy Pier, 1 o'clock. We've got the boat. We've got fireworks. We've got all kinds of things going on. You can eat, drink, and be merry. Let's show up. I need to hear from you. And I hope to see you there.
Yeah. Okay, so we're under a minute. So why don't we do the best, Donnie and Marie? Goodbye, everybody.
What are you doing?
Donnie and Marie, goodbye, everybody.
Oh,
Or,
yeah,
or
I
you
saw
were already
Donnie.
out, you were out of that generation. Go ahead, Patty, do it.
Hey,
Goodbye.
You know,
I'm only 4 years old.
I wasn't a fan of theirs, I'm sorry to say, but
I saw Donnie in the
I just
Joseph
thought
and
the
the
theme worked. The theme worked.